What is the CELTA course? Who is it for? How is it assessed? Where and how to take it? Is the CELTA course difficult? Is it even worth it? In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the CELTA course. But only if you subscribe to this channel. Have you subscribed yet? So let's go. Hello exam seekers, I'm Patty and today I'm talking about the CELTA course. Many teachers when applying for schools abroad or even in their own country come across some questions like: have you taken the CELTA course? Do you plan to take the CELTA course? And you think, what is the CELTA course? This was my reaction when my friend asked me if I was planning to take the CELTA course. Back then, he explained it to me. And now, I'm going to explain to you everything you need to know about the CELTA course. 1. What is the CELTA course? 2. Who is the CELTA course for? 3. What is the CELTA format and content? 4. How are the CELTees assessed? And 5. General aspects. So let's start with the first question. What is the CELTA course? Well, CELTA stands for Certificate in English Language Teaching to Adults. But many people know a certificate in teaching English to speakers of other languages. This means that the CELTA is a course focused on the practice of English teaching. It focuses on practical skills with face-to-face teaching practice, which will provide teachers with techniques and it will build their confidence so that they can teach with more quality. The CELTA course is the most widely recognized English teaching qualification in the world, and according to Cambridge, 3 out of 4 English language teaching jobs require a CELTA qualification. So, who is it for? By now, you probably know that it is specially built for teachers of English as a foreign language. But not only, it is for new teachers starting their careers, teachers with some experience who want to develop their skills, and teachers who want to travel and teach English. As you can see, many teachers can take this certificate. However, you have to meet some criteria. First, you need to be over the age of 18. Second, you have to be a proficient English language user. That means be CFR level C1 or above. And have a standard of education equivalent to the one required to enter higher education. However, if you don't have a certificate that is equivalent to the one required for the higher education, but you show them that you can complete the course successfully, you can enter. Well, you probably can enter. It actually depends on the center. Some centers are more strict. They require more. Some centers are more loose and they accept more. They just want to see if you will complete the CELTA course successfully. If you can show them that, you are probably fine. What is the CELTA content and format? Well, the CELTA course comprises 120 hours that can be taken in 3 different ways. The full-time, which takes from 4 to 5 weeks, the part-time, which takes from a few months to over the course of a year online, and the blended learning course, which combines online self-studying with hands-on teaching practice. They all include tutorial support and consultation, supervised lesson planning, 6 hours assessed teaching practice per candidate, supervised by a course tutor, feedback on teaching practice, peer observations of teaching practice, in other words, watching the other candidates' lessons, 6 hours directed observation of lessons taught by experienced ELT professionals, up to 3 hours of which may be of filmed lessons. It means that you will be asked to prepare and deliver 6 hours of lessons throughout the course. And you will be assessed in many aspects of your teaching. Elements such as language awareness, language delivery, lesson plan, stages for different types of lessons, receptive and productive skills, appropriate language, and some others are taken into account. There is a range of topics that the CELTA course covers: learners and teachers, and teaching and learning context, language analysis and awareness, language skills, reading, writing, listening and speaking, planning and resources for different teaching contexts, and developing teaching skills and professionalism. If you want some more information about the CELTA course, I'll leave the link of my blog in the description so you can check it out and download a handbook PDF file, of course, if you want. Another important question is, how are the CELTees assessed? Differently from a test, you will be assessed throughout the course. There is no final examination. There are two types of assessment: the teaching practices and the written assignments. Teaching practice: you will teach for a total of 6 hours working with adult classes at a minimum of 2 levels of ability. For instance, you can take a basic and an intermediate group, or an intermediate group and an advanced group, or an advanced group and a basic group. Assessment is based on your overall performance. Oh, and when I mentioned that you are going to teach for 6 hours, it doesn't necessarily mean that each lesson you plan will take 1 hour. It can be divided into 8 classes of 45 minutes or so, okay? And the written assignments, which you will complete 4 written assignments, each from 750 words to 1,000 words, that focuses on analyzing and responding to adult learners' needs, analyzing language for teaching purposes, teaching language skills, and reflecting on classroom teaching. What if I fail? Should you fail the first submission, if you get a lower grade than they expected, you will still have the resubmission, which means another chance to fix your mistakes and aim for a passing grade. After taking the CELTA course, you will receive a certificate like this one. Now let's go over some general aspects, okay? Some people say that the CELTA course is difficult, but it is due to these aspects that you have to go through. Lesson planning. The tutors evaluate how well you know the steps for each skill. Remember, speaking, reading, writing, and listening. The quality of your work and the way you describe and design your lesson plans. To be honest, my first lesson plan took more than 8 hours to be prepared. I remember that I stopped typing when it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it was hard. But I eventually got the hang of it, and I'm sure you will get the hang of it too. Designing the lesson plan. Something to bear in mind is, while creating your lesson plan, it's highly important that you respect the stages of each different lesson. Listening and reading are receptive skills, writing and speaking are productive skills, and vocabulary and grammar. They should all be analyzed carefully since they are all different depending on the skills that you aim to teach. Lesson delivery. You will be evaluated on how well you set up the class, the materials you develop, the monitoring, the way you deal and interact with the students, the way you put things into practice according to your lesson plan, techniques that you are implementing, and much more. It seems a lot, but you do have 6 hours to practice. While you deliver the lesson, your tutor and your peers will be watching you, and they will be taking notes as well. because they will take part in the feedback later on. So let's talk about the feedback. So as I mentioned, after your lesson and after your students left, the tutor will gather you and your peers for the feedback time, and he will give you feedback on the lesson that you have just delivered. To be honest, I used to hate having people watching my lesson, be it the coordinator that was there to assess my lesson and give me feedback to improve, or be it a new teacher that needed to know how the class was delivered. I used to hate that. I used to feel uncomfortable having someone watching me. But, well, after 6 hours of watched lessons, I kind of got used to that. And now I actually like it. I understand that's not comfortable having someone watching over you, but if they're ready to give you feedback, it's nice, because while you teach, you are not always aware of what you do in class, the things that you repeat to students, or the way you say things or deliver lessons. So it's always nice, or try to record yourself, or try to have someone watching your class every now and then to receive feedback, because you will grow with this feedback. And while receiving feedback, be open to criticism and feedback. Don't be like grumpy, and you have to have an open mind. You have to be open to receive criticism, well, positive criticism and feedback in your lessons in general, and especially on the CELTA course, because you will be assessed on how you receive feedback. So be open to receive feedback. Listen, ask questions, but don't confront, okay? And the last item, assignments. Regarding the assignments, they resemble those articles that you prepare for university, where you have to develop a topic based on different sources and quote articles. Well, they might be a little tricky, but it's a good way to practice writing. Last question, is the CELTA course worth it? Well, by the end of the CELTA course, you will find yourself not only more knowledgeable, but definitely a better professional. And if you're looking for jobs, as I mentioned, there are many schools around the globe that would like a professional who holds a CELTA certificate. As I've said, I had the craziest experience with the CELTA course. If you want me to share more about my own experiences with the CELTA course or with other courses that I've taken, please comment in the comment section. Yeah, what I can say is that my experience with the CELTA course, the 4-week CELTA course, the full-time CELTA course, was something. Anyways, I will leave in the description some more information about the CELTA course, and that's it for today. Don't forget to follow this channel if you're not following yet, and like this video so that I know that this content is relevant for you. Okay? So, thanks for watching me, and see you next time. Oh, don't forget, knowledge is never enough. Bye bye. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you know that regarding the assignments, so that they can teach that.